Good evening, Prime Horror Stories. You can call me Lynn. What I'm about to share is something I truly experienced back in our hometown in Cagayan, Philippines. One night we were heading home after celebrating my cousin's birthday. It was already late. The road was dark, and the only light we had came from the moon and a few distant houses. We were walking faster than usual, trying to get home as quickly as we could. Then we reached a stretch of road near a wooded area. That's when we saw it. At first, we thought it was just a dog. It was small, standing a few feet away from us. But something felt wrong. When we looked closer, we realized it wasn't a dog. Its posture was unnatural. Its back was arched in a strange way, almost like it was twisted. Its snout was long, and its eyes, they were glowing in the dark, just staring at us, not moving, not blinking, just watching. A chill ran down my spine. Then suddenly, one of my friends screamed, "Run! That's a Sigbin!" We didn't think. We just ran. All of us at the same time, sprinting in different directions, not even sure where we were going. Behind us, I could hear it. A low, distorted growl. Not like any animal I've ever heard before. It sounded wrong. Like something trying to imitate a sound it wasn't meant to make. I could barely breathe from how fast we were running. My chest felt tight. My legs were shaking. But I didn't dare stop. It felt like at any second, that thing would catch up to us. We didn't stop until we reached the house. The moment we got inside, we dropped to the floor, gasping for air, shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I started crying. So did the others. We told the adults everything that happened, our voices breaking as we spoke. They didn't laugh. They didn't question us. They just went silent. Then one of them said, "Don't ever go back there, especially at night." They told us that there are things in the woods that don't usually show themselves. And if you happen to see one, it's not a good sign. After that night, I never took that at Tarik again. I couldn't. What I saw that night stayed with me. It gave me trauma I still carry to this day. I can still remember exactly how it looked. That thing we saw. What they call a Sigbin. Some people say creatures like that aren't real. That stories like this are just made up to scare people. But I know what I saw. We all saw it. And I'm telling you, that was no ordinary animal. Some things we think are just myths are real. And sometimes, they're closer than we think.
In our town, there's been a long-standing story about a Tiyanak that roams around once darkness falls. At first, I thought it was just a tale to scare kids, to make us go home early before night came. But over time, strange things began happening. Things that simple imagination couldn't explain. Dogs would bark suddenly in one direction, even when no one was around. Neighbors claimed they could hear the cries of a baby in the middle of the night, even though no child had been born recently. One night, I experienced it myself. I was walking home from a friend's house. The night had already fallen, and I was alone on the dark road. There wasn't much light, only the moon and a few street lamps far apart. As I walked, I felt like something was following me. At first, I ignored it, thinking it was just my imagination. Fear has a way of playing tricks. But then I heard it. A faint sound, soft and distant, like a baby crying. I stopped. I swallowed hard, trying to listen again. It was real. Someone or something was crying. And what made it worse? It sounded like it was getting closer. I slowly glanced behind me. In the middle of the road, sitting alone, was a small figure. Its head was bowed, and the soft cries it made were unmistakably human, but not entirely. The sound was mixed with something else. A growl, a laugh, something unnatural trying to hide beneath the sound of a baby. I wanted to run, but my legs felt frozen, rooted to the ground. Then it stopped crying, and slowly it lifted its head. My eyes widened in horror. Its face was not that of a baby. Pale, filthy, and grotesque. Its eyes were huge, staring directly at me. And then, bit by bit, it smiled. Sharp teeth revealed themselves. That's when I realized the story was true. It was a Tiyanak. In an instant, it vanished. I don't know how. All I knew was that I had to run. As I sprinted, I could hear it behind me, moving fast, crawling, leaping, even climbing the trees beside the road. At times, I felt like it was right above my head, ready to pounce at any second. I don't know how I made it home. All I remember was bursting through the door, gasping for air, and locking it behind me. I thought I was safe, but that night, as I lay in bed, trying to calm myself, I heard it again. This time, the crying wasn't coming from the road. It wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from underneath my house.
My name is Mackie, and I'll never forget that day. I was sitting in class next to my friend Carlo when I noticed something was off. He was unusually quiet, avoiding eye contact, and looked really uncomfortable. A few minutes later, a bad smell started to spread across the classroom. That's when the laughter began. Some of our classmates started giggling, then it got louder. You could tell people were starting to figure out what happened. I looked at Carlo. He had his head down, frozen, like he wanted to disappear. His eyes were starting to water. You could see how embarrassed he was. That's when it hit me. I knew exactly what had happened. Just then, our teacher walked in and immediately told everyone to be quiet. The room went silent. Then she called my name. She asked me to help Carlo step outside. I didn't hesitate. I walked with him to the restroom. He didn't say a word the whole time. He just kept his head down. Our teacher later gave him a clean uniform to change into. After making sure he was okay, I went back to the classroom. That's when the teacher asked me to clean Carlo's chair. I won't lie, it wasn't easy. I felt embarrassed too. Everyone was watching. But I just stayed quiet and did what needed to be done. No complaints, no reactions. And something changed. The same classmates who were laughing earlier, they were all silent now, just watching. When I finished, our teacher finally spoke. She told the class that situations like that shouldn't be laughed at, that it wasn't something Carlo chose, and that it could happen to anyone. No one said a word. The next day, Carlo came back. He was still quiet, still avoiding eye contact. But this time, no one laughed. No one made jokes.
No one teased him. He just sat there, head down, still carrying the embarrassment. So I leaned over and said, "Hey, forget about what happened. Stuff like that happens. It's not a big deal." He looked at me and said, "Thanks for yesterday, for not laughing at me." That moment stuck with me. It reminded me of what my mom always taught me growing up. In situations like that, think first. Think about whether someone might get hurt or embarrassed. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to laugh. But it takes character to understand. And it takes even more to help. That's why I always try to ask myself first, is what I'm doing right or wrong?